This video and its contents are for adult collectors. Yeah, I'm finally doing a Machine Wars Hoist video, or at least some capacity of a Machine Wars Hoist video. Today we're taking a look at the awesome Botcon 2013 Machine Wars Hoist. This is a epic redeco of the Sergeant Cup mold from Thrilling 30 or Generations, whichever that was, and I love this thing. These awesome sparkly windshields, the paint on here, even going around to the taillights. He also has this awesome thing where the tailgate can fold down. There's just so many things about this figure that are just awesome, including the fact that you can stash his rifle underneath of his car mode, forming an exhaust pipe. Now, there is a ton of paint in this mode, and he does have all four wheels pinned, and it just comes out amazingly. It really shows off what a little bit more paint budget, or just more budget in general, can do. I love the little gas cap here, even though it's right next to the sloppiest part of the paint job on here, which you'd think for a convention figure they would fix. But we'll talk about that a little bit more, because there's some other aspects of this convention figure that aren't great either. For size comparison, here he is with Burnout, with RID Prowl, here he is with Reveal the Shield Jazz, and of course, Machine Wars Hoist. Transformation on this guy is fairly intuitive, honestly. Everything kind of goes where you think it will. You just want to undo that, and then starting up here, bring the tires out. There we can bring the arms down, just by popping them out of these panels here. And then kind of bring them out just to get them out of the way. From there, we can pop this forward, bring this and separate these, fold down the tailgate, bring out the feet, and then bring these knees back like so, bring the bits in like that, and collapse them down to form the knees. Where is it? There it is. There we go. Give me one moment. At this point, you should have some weird tubby car man that almost looks like a vintage GoBot. You just want to rotate this whole section and pop this up. Rotate this whole section until it slides in right there. Fold the trunk or the hood up. Bring this down and tilt the head back until it clicks into place. From there, it's just a matter of angling the arms, angling the tires on the shoulders, and standing them up. And there we have Botcon Machine Wars Hoist in robot mode. Robot mode here looks absolutely fantastic. The dark maroon really shining through, which I didn't realize the original had until this figure. The head sculpt here is a bit of a mix of Hoist and Electros from G2, and that's because this mold serves double duty. They could only get so many heads for that Botcon, but this is a fantastic mold. I had wanted to experience the Sergeant Cup mold for quite some time, and getting it in this form is just amazing. It's a character I enjoy, and it's a deco that I love on a mold that I wanted. And that's what's important when you're a collector, getting the version that you want. I love how clean this figure is, too. When's the last time we've gotten like a real pickup truck transformer, too? I think this might be one of the last few ones we got. Mentioning that thing, by the way, the airs. The shoulders were misassembled on this, so mine has these nice, beautiful chunks ripped out of them because I wanted my shoulders to work correctly. He can hold his rifle with both hands, which is pretty sick, and he looks just fantastic. I don't know what else to say about him other than it's a great looking mold with a great deco on it, and if you can find it for cheap, go get it. Here he is with Legacy Cannonball, Studio Series Jolt, Channel Mascot Laserfire with Target Master Shattershock, and of course, the original KB Toys Machine Wars Hoist. Unlike the little flip changer here, this Machine Wars Hoist actually has some fairly modern articulation. That is because it's based off the Sergeant Cup mold, which was a pretty good mold, and this deco of black and maroon looks spectacular on it. He has a very, very emotive head. He can look down extremely far. I think that's because the ball joint is so far back socketed, but it is a pretty emotive head and a pretty decent looking head sculpt. Arms can rotate all the way around. They can go in and out. They have this extra joint above the elbow so they can go in and out there. He can get 90 degrees at the elbow. Wrist swivel. No waist swivel due to the way the transformation works. That's really the only spot where this guy kind of falls flat. Legs can go forward that far, then go back that far, out this far on universal joints. Thigh swivel. A little bit shy of 90 at the knees, and because of the way that like this all works, his thighs to shin ratio is kind of crazy, so you're not getting a lot of use out of those knees. He's not taking any tall steps. Then he has back and forth at the ankle, as well as very, very slight ankle tilts. So overall, fairly good articulation, fairly modern posability aside from that waist swivel, if not a little bit hindered due to kibble and like just limitations of the design of the figure. Overall, Machine Wars Hoist is a bit of a mixed bag. He has some QC issues such as the misassembled chest and the bad shoulders that plague almost every copy. And that's not great when you're paying convention prices for a figure. I would say that if you are a fan of Botcon or you're looking to add a piece of Botcon to your collection, Machine Wars Hoist is one of those figures that is fairly cheap, running about $40 to $60 on the aftermarket, which you might be thinking, that's a lot for a deluxe. But it's a convention figure, and it's on the cheaper side when it comes to Botcon exclusives. Even club exclusives, he's on the cheap end. And I think it's because of how many airs he's had, tied with the fact that the Machine Wars Botcon set isn't very popular. I really like him, though. It's a cool look on a mold that I was interested in, and I think it fits Machine Wars Hoist very well. The paint and head are nice, and I think everything about him is really, really good. If you can find him for, like I said, 40 to 60, and you're in the market for a piece of Botcon, since I know they're nice little shelf queens, go for it. I highly recommend him. Other than that, if he's more than that, don't go for it. It's definitely not worth it. And also, it's just a Botcon figure. It's not the end of the world if you don't have one. With that said, YouTube thinks you'll like this video right here. Don't forget to check out the support links down in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Bot's Obsession. I'd also like to give a shout out to my Patreons, Luke Thompson, Grim Lockdown, and Proton Collectibles. Thank you for supporting the channel.